mean, Junsack is pretty cracked. I'll tell you that. Yeah, sometimes it's just a little too free for the bean, huh? Or to watch as an Emule player, I'm sorry. I just had to do it to you. Maybe I'll finally commission the bean emote. Have I tried building the Murktide deck splashing white for Prismatic? I haven't personally, no. That being said, we had like 3 deck techs of people who also really liked the idea yesterday, and I saw a lot of lists that looked totally reasonable. I think I'm a little bit worried about Chalice of the Void. My opponent leads on Flooded Strand, so I'm going to lead on Ragavan, which makes me a little more insulated against Chalice, I think. Saw the notification, went to the bathroom, came back, already won a game. Yeah, it was a really fast match. We played 3 games, too, that match. But it's always good to, you know, be... well, I don't know. This is a 265-player tournament, which is very solidly in the 9-round camp. And we're probably going to have to go 8-1 in order to top 8. Yeah, so you almost always will save the Bloodghast to discard to Spyro in spots like this. Just getting modern. I bought my first paper deck, Boris Burn. My true love is Gruul Aggro. Any deck I should look out for? Gruul Aggro. There are some Zoo variants that aren't exactly Gruul. They're like territorial Kavu decks, but they like have all 5 colors of lands. But they probably do fit the spirit of Gruul Aggro, you know. I've played some mono green Eldrazi, which is, you know, there's no red in there, but also kind of feels kind of Gruul-y. Is Gruul Shaman's kind of decent? It's almost kind of decent. I don't know. The deck is like maybe like 1 good card away from being like a tier 3 deck. Yeah, we beat Titan, which is a bad matchup, but you have a lot of sideboard cards for it too, just kind of incidentally, because you need all these Fulminator Mages for Tron too. Okay, you will resolve. Seasoned Pyromancer, you're going to resolve. Let's go. I can discard Hierarch for an extra token. I think I'll keep it though. Yeah, there's Ponza, but that deck I don't think is particularly good at the moment, so I kind of have a hard time recommending it. Deal. Get my Bloodghast back. Yeah, I think Junsack is a really good deck. I really like this deck. I've been having a ton of success with it. I know that people haven't been picking it up that much, but you know, I also think this deck is super hard to like pick up and master. It took me like, even as the person who built the deck, it really took me a long time of playing before I felt like I was playing this deck proficiently. Yeah, we beat Titan. We lost game 1 and won both sideboard games pretty quickly. We had our sideboard cards. Both Force of Vigor and Fulminator really came through for us. Game 3, we got to Fulminator Mage and then Unearth Fulminator Mage twice. I guess I should have waited on this in case they want to counter, but I'm pretty happy if they counter. Go ahead, cast your Supreme Verdict, opponent. Gonna save the fetches for Mayhem Devil, Bloodghasts. And then I'll probably wait to cast that in response to Castle Ardenvale or Instep. Probably after Castle Ardenvale. What's the next budget deck gonna be? I don't know. I do want to do another budget deck for Channel Fireball. I was thinking zombies, but the deck is actually surprisingly not budget. Cards like Gravecrawler, Drolf's Messenger are are very popular casual cards and do command a pretty hefty price. Alright, pretty good hits. Yeah, I think this deck is very difficult to pilot. But I like, you know, you guys, or a lot of you guys at least, have seen me evolve as a pilot of this deck and seen how I've gone from, you know, messing a lot of things up and losing like a lot of matches I should have won to just crushing with this deck, you know. And I think that you guys could too if you guys are interested in the archetype. You know, it's very important that when you're picking up a new deck and you're losing with it, if you can correctly identify if you're losing because the deck is bad or because you are not piloting it perfectly, and if you can identify mistakes that you're making, that's how you get better, and that's how you eventually master an archetype, you know. First time we saw you play this deck, you trophied? Is that true? Maybe you're right. I mean, after that, I was definitely like, there's a long time of, there's a lot of growing pains with me like learning all the tricks of the deck, you know. I play an extra Wrenn and 3 Scoots with 2 Bops instead of Ragavan. 3 Scoots. What do you guys think Scoot is? Scoots? Is it Scoot Swarm? Scoot Swarm? That's awesome. Very cool. Yeah, the late night stream, the last game was really sick. Well, that wasn't the first time I streamed this deck. I streamed the deck a lot before that. Yeah, Scoot Swarm does seem kind of hot, although it's like maybe a little bit more, but it definitely does have more synergy with Wrenn, right? Because you have more lands that you're hitting. Sounds fun. Nasifa's 10 minutes into timer still on game 1. Yeah, Nasifa's playing blue-white. We might watch some matches between rounds. No, Doom is playing Rhinos. Nasifa's playing blue-white. I didn't see what everybody else was playing. I'm trying to think if there's any chance I play Bloodghast next turn. Not like a very... I don't think I will. I think I should play Wrenn here. I'm doing Wilson. Gio, how are you doing? Doom has been done for a bit? What? That can't be true. No, he's streaming. Yeah. Wait, there's cons draft? What am I doing playing leagues? We could be cons drafting. I love cons draft. We'll probably do one. Oh, done with the match, I see. Oh, I didn't even check if Doom won. I thought you've been done streaming. It's always so good that they can't... I mean, not that Force of Negation is super common these days, but it is always feels good just knowing that they can't force this. We have a trophy race to win? Maybe. I'm kind of missing it. I don't know. I know we're like 4 trophies behind first place, but it feels super doable if I like get back into grind mode, you know. I don't know how soon I can afford mentally to get back into grind mode. Kind of flooding a bit. Good hits though. Yeah, Grist, very good design card. Why is Force falling out of favor? Yeah, it's like specifically against like the Ragavan decks and the Hammer Time decks, it's not that good. Although it's not terrible against Hammer Time. But it is good against Rhinos. It is good against Living End. It is good against control decks. It is good against big mana decks. So I think it's starting to come back a little bit, but just a little bit. It's really still not back to like the 3 of in every blue deck forever territory, or really even close to that point. Okay, so I want to trade something with Snapcaster here rather than trade my Snapcaster for, or my Ragavan for Snapcaster. Is fetching basics first path correct? We have 5 basics, but that's probably fair to have fetched like one more Shockland here. And then I can also hold the Ragavan, but I mean they show me path, so I'm not necessarily of the opinion that they have Chalice. Yeah, let's hold this. T-Bane, 14 months. Appreciate you, buddy. I'm feeling good today. We won round 1 in spectacular fashion. It's entirely possible that we have already used up all of our luck for today because of how insane we drew in games 2 of 3 of that last match. But at least we're off to a 1-0 start, huh? Big tournament today, of course. I top rated the last challenge I played, but that one was like 120 something, I think. And this one is 265 players because it's the showcase challenge. We're playing for more stakes, you know. But it says that they need a second. Yeah, we drew 4 screen card. We were already really ahead, but my opponent had Amulet Saga in play. We drew 4 screen card off of our Spyro. It's pretty wild. Oh no, Gab is facing the sewer? At 1 live? Rough stuff. I think Gab is dead. Wait, no attacks with the Batter Skull? Let's freaking go. Now we got the double chump block, right? No, we don't have enough. We're dead. Sideboard Subtlety is pretty cool. I wonder exactly what the thinking is there. 2 main deck Rest in Peace. I actually love that a lot for the showcase. Alright, let's maybe bait a counterspell with Wrenn. Did not eat a counterspell. Yeah, Hall of the Storm Giants. I mean, I've been really liking Hall over Colonnade. Hammer 20 months, appreciate ya. Gonna play Just Sky Phoenix today, but don't have surgicals. There are a few graveyard decks left. Yes. Are there an alternative to surgicals? Leyline of the Void is probably the best one. Yeah, I would say Leyline of the Void is going to be your best alternative to surgical, where it doesn't affect your graveyard. It is something you can loot away with Mending. You can also cast it off Manamorphose. Yeah, I think Hall is a lot better than Colonnade. I actually got the D&D Hall of the Storm Giants in the mail yesterday. They look really cool. We're 1-0 in the challenge, Kelly. Okay, Jace down. I think I have a fetchable mountain left, and that's it, because I drew my only other fetchable shock. Yeah. So no more fetchables in the deck. The game 3 is coming back to bite you with all these lands. Yeah, let's get these bad draws out in the league, huh? After playing Blue-White Stoneblade yesterday, what are my thoughts on the deck? I like it a lot, actually. I'm trying to remember what my overall record was, but it was pretty high. I think it was something like... It was like 4-1, 3-2, 4-1, 4-1. Which is, not insane. I think it was like a 75% win rate. Which is pretty good. I was liking the deck a lot. I'll just hold the lands. I don't think it's anything too busted, but like I really liked how main deck Sentinel felt really good. I feel like it compensated for a lot of blue-white Stoneblade's weaknesses, right? Where Stoneblade is weak to I don't know what my opponent's gonna do here. Stoneblade is weak to like the Ragavan Channeler decks because they're just so much more mana efficient than you. But Sentinel slows them down so much. It makes their early turns, which is where they thrive, so much worse. That I have really liked just being able to Entwine Kaya's Guile to like just get so much equity in that matchup. You get equity in those matchups with the main deck Rest in Peace and some extra Rest in Peace in the sideboard. So it feels like again you get to compensate really hard in your bad matchups with like a lot of these different options. And the prelates are also really good in those matchups. And then the Stoneblade deck gets to play like so many cards that are good against like big mana decks with the Spreading Seas, and the prelates are also quite good against a lot of the. They're not blocking Bloodghast. Prelates are quite good against a lot of the decks in the format as well. Get to play a lot of counter spells. Deck's pretty good against burn. Just been liking it, you know. Right, let's kill their guys. Yeah, the card that slows them down is Esper Sentinel. Well, maybe I should have actually just pinged the Spirit and just left the Snapcaster in play. It's a little bit better against Supreme Verdict. Yeah, Sentinel is incredibly, incredibly good. You just got foil, etched forces, negations, and they're cheaper than OGs. Really? Why? Yeah, that's something that's always confused me. Like, the etched foils are not very expensive, but they look so good. They look so good. I own a couple. I own, like, etched foil prismatic endings. Not too many. Good morning, Fluffy. Good morning, Emma. Yeah, but etched foil forces sound really cool. No one likes etched? I like etched. I think they look cool. Maybe I have no taste, huh? Etched foils do not look nearly as good. I mean, that definitely seems to be the consensus, right? Like, that definitely seems to be what people think. I just, I like them a lot. Because I remember I was selling, or I was auctioning off the misprint signets I got for charity, right? And even though most people like they were misprinted in that they had regular foiling instead of the etched foiling, right? It was great. We got to raise a lot of money, but the whole time I'm like, I kind of prefer these etched foil signets. I kind of think the etched foil ones look better. Card player, thank you for Twitch Prime. But I mean, it's also, I think it's good that you have a lot of choice in your art, Or we're gonna just ping them to death, I guess. I'm gonna go out the honorable way. Because if they have Kaya's Guile, this gets a little hairy. Attack first. They've already. Oh, I guess they've only played one Guile, but they flashed it back. No Phoenix Love this week. I think that Junsack is also a very good deck. I like Phoenix still, but I haven't played Junsack in a single challenge yet. I think usually if I have a new brew that I like, I will play it in the challenge that weekend. And this week, or the week that I put the Junsack list together, they do have the Kaya's Guile. Wow. Yeah, the week I put the Junsack list together, I took that weekend off just to grind for the trophy race, because I just couldn't afford to do anything besides grind for the trophy race. And I ended up not ever playing this deck in a challenge, and weird, so we're doing today. They build over a Kroxa, which is good. Yeah, but this deck is also really strong, I feel. I think this deck is very, very good. And this is also, a higher stakes challenge, too. This is the Showcase Challenge. I guess I pulled up the wrong screen, but this is the Showcase Challenge. And, it qualifies you for a big tournament. It's a really big deal. And so I kind of get to knock out two birds with one stone, where I get to feel like I play one of my better decks, and I get to play it in a higher stakes tournament. Alright, so we have 3 cards in the yard for Kroxa. If we hit another Grist, we can escape Kroxa. Dude, my opponent's been drawing another Kaya's Guile? Jeez, my opponent is ripping just straight fire off the top. Golly. Yeah, definitely, like, the key to building this deck is to, like, in your Goblin Bombardment deck, you actually play good cards, which I know it sounds obvious, but, myself and I think a lot of people that were trying to build around Goblin Bombardment were filling the deck full of, like, mediocre cards or cards that needed a lot of things going right to be powerful. I just don't think that's a good way to build the deck. So try to see with zombie theme and Lurrus. I think usually when you're playing zombies, you want Mayhem Devil and Messenger more than Lurrus. But I have played a zombie version of this deck recently with the new zombie cards too. And before I built this version. I actually kind of like the recent zombie decks. I know Doomwake's been playing that deck a lot too. But I like this version a lot more. I think this version is a lot better. Played just Sky Phoenix for the first time last night. My sequencing was a major factor in scrubbing. Yeah, the deck definitely takes a long time to figure out perfectly. Trying to figure out from Rusty if there's a fundamental mindset difference from OG versions of Phoenix. I think so. It's like the OG versions of Phoenix, like when you're on your Thing in the Ice game plan, it played very differently. But Dimilich plays so similarly to Phoenix, you're always kind of on that Phoenix game plan. I did write a deck guide for the deck for Channel Fireball. If you're, can maybe find a little bit of insight there on sequencing and stuff. Right, plus before we play our land because of Grist. Or because of, Bloodghast. One's playing pretty slow. So you got 22 matches still in progress of the challenge. Yeah, we got plenty of time. Brent says that they messed up. They must have ending. I Vindicate, yeah. Yeah, definitely a mistake. So, we don't have lethal. Oh, we actually, do we? We can sack Seasoned Pyromancer to get 2 more tokens. Let's see what we draw. Okay, that's lethal. Super lethal. The reasons I think this deck is good in the current meta. A combination of a lot of different things. One, this deck is just good. This is a very powerful deck that doesn't have a lot of hate on it in a metagame where people are very much like trying to focus on Cascade decks and DRC Ragavan decks and Hammer Time. Like, people are not necessarily packing cards like Grafdigger's Cage or, things that are particularly good against this strategy. But maybe I'll test it off stream, and if it's any good, we'll play it on stream. Sounds great. Looks really fun. Consider in response to Ragavan. Keeps a card on top but draws it. We exile a mountain. So just in case this is Blue Moon, which is pretty popular at the moment. Get my basic swamp. I'll just resolve a bombardment. I don't want to play the devil into a lightning bolt. Although I guess if they had bolt, they would have killed this. I think I broke 4 months. Thanks, buddy. Glad you liking the stream. How does Junsec do against elementals? It's pretty good. It's pretty good against elementals, I found. Like, you have to control them. Like, both players are trying to stop the other player from snowballing and developing their engine. but like your pings are so good against them, and they don't really have too many good answers to bombardment. Can blue beam be built budget? Probably not, because like you really need fetch lands to make the mana work. Was that an Is It Charm? We're not sack for ping. Oh, I was literally too stunned by the Is It Charm to realize I should sack for the ping. I was just literally stun locked. Yeah. Yeah, missed the damage. But that's why. So I guess we're playing against the Phoenix deck. That's just like, okay, well, Mending's in the format. Let's just play the card that's been in the format the longest time instead. And it's not working out for them, unfortunately. I think they're dead. See if they're like 1 point short or something, because I forgot to ping. Yeah, they're dead. Yeah, Devil's so good. Alright, get to bring in Endurance too, which is one of the best cards in the format against Phoenix. Maybe the best card. Let's trim a Mending, a Bloodghast, and a Devil. Don't think I want Void Mirror. How many matches? This is a 9-round tournament today. Very long tournament. Going to be very difficult. We're off to a nice 2-0 start. And I guess we just pretend like it's now a 7-round tournament, huh? And we're starting right now. 7-round tournaments are easy. Probably mulligan this on the draw against Phoenix. Kind of weird hand. I think we have to keep on 6. Awesome, Eliza. Yeah, I really like the Phoenix deck. I'm going to play some more of it next week, of course. After I win this challenge with Junsec. But it misses their land drop. FNM was 8 rounds. Dude, I've been to one FNM in the last 2 years, and it was, or 3 years maybe, and it was 6 rounds cut to top 8, so I guess also 8 rounds, and I left. I think I went 4-1 drop. It was just too late. Couldn't keep going. Yeah, Dimulch is really good. My playset came in the mail too. I still need to order the like considers and mendings, but I'm gonna get the deck together in paper and then I guess never play it. Opponent's not playing Pioneer, I think, because Treasure Cruise isn't legal in this format. This card's Consider, Fiery Islet, Scours. They have a Gut Shot. Oh, they have a Lava Dart. So they can kill Grist, but then we get to unearth it and just kill the thing in the ice. Oh, they should have darted me. Yeah, they missed a point of damage. Not a big deal, of course. My opponent killed Wrenn and Six? Do they not know what Grist does? Do they have Gut Shot for my Hierarch? Whatever. Paid actor. Discarded Manamorphose? That card is really... I feel like that would be one of their better cards in their hand. I guess their hand must be strong. I'm probably not sacking the Peatland so I can escape Kroxa. But I also don't think I want to unearth like a Hierarch here. Could maybe cycle Unearth. Probably should save it to reanimated Grist. Don't know how scared of that one I should be. Pretty good hits. This card's a Phoenix. Opponent is MTG Remy. Is this a joke? If they're Remy, I'll have to concede, and then for my concession, get a collab. Very old school. How do they play Thing in the Ice, Ascension, Reveler, and Phoenix? It's a bad joke. Yeah, I'm just trying to get. I figured it was like a reference to one of the songs. I just couldn't figure out which one. Two split of Reveler Ascension. 12 threats I think is too many, I found. It's at least like the hard maximum, but I feel like 8 to 10 is a much sweeter spot. But of course, you know, everybody's just, you know, they're brewing, playing with the new cards. Could lose to Ascension. Should probably cycle Unearth, I guess. They discard another Reveler, or they graveyard a Reveler. They discard Lava Dart. Elos gets away with a little counter because they're both accessible in the yard and you have more velocity than Oldest. I guess that's fair. I mean, I feel like 10 maybe in a version like this is the right number. 12 feels high. Do 11 maybe. How did the Phoenix deck do on versus live, Ross? I heard that you guys are playing it. Oh yeah, Skewed Swarm with Grist. Actually, I came to realize that synergy the other day. I can't remember the context though, or like how I realized that. Corey cast more Dimuliches than I did, and you were playing the Phoenix side. What was Corey playing? Must have been a Ragavan deck? Voidwalker deck? Also playing Dimulich. How? Dimulich, Reveler, Pyromancer, Ascension, Thing in the Ice. Ragavan, yeah, bummer. So they have one card left in their hand. Escaping Kroxa to get rid of it's kind of nice, but then they get to Dimulich me. But maybe we get the best of both worlds. Yeah, I think I want to go... Oh yeah, we just killed him here. Yeah, just kill him. Jazzy Fest, 2 months, appreciate you. Yeah, we get to Kroxa, their last card, then escape Kroxa, and then they die. Yeah, just play Yorion Phoenix at this point. So we're 2-0 in the league, 2-0 in the challenge, 4-0 on the day. Probably keep this on the draw on the blind. A little slow though. Don't all use my -0s in the league. Yeah, we'll just lose this one. And then keep our luck in the challenge. It'd be really cool to top 8 a showcase challenge. Oh, get back Noble Sec Blood. I missed. Yeah, that was another way to get lethal. Didn't see that one. Misty Rainforest Breeding Pool Aether Vial. So is this Merfolk? Is this Spirits? Hey, good bros, how you doing? Yorion Phoenix will play Crackling Drake. The synergies, no limits. Spirits confirmed. I found this matchup to be good in the past, but we are on the draw with a pretty slow hand, so might take an L. What do you get for winning a showcase for Stormwatch Challenge? So the showcase qualifies you for this is the league results. It qualifies you for the format showcase qualifier, and if you do, I don't know exactly how you have to do at that tournament, but succeeding in that tournament qualifies you for the Mox, which is like maybe like the highest level of Magic play at the moment. I guess there's, you know, still Worlds and stuff, but it's a very, very high cash tournament. There's like, it's very, very high cash. It's hard to qualify too, but this is how you do it. I think Nude Safari can see playing a Saga deck. I don't think that card's playable in Modern. If your 4-mana Planeswalker requires you to have a Saga in play or something else to like be any good, it's just not a good card. 4-mana Planeswalkers need to be able to carry by themselves. Definitely discard Bloodghast. Also discard Stomping Ground too. Like a Pro Tour? It's a different tournament than a Pro Tour, Esther, but it's a lot smaller. Like there's a lot less people invited to a Mox than a Pro Tour. It's kind of a unique tournament, but definitely a very high competition event. Oh, deck 5 would resale that blank paper. Yeah, I think this deck is great. Really like it. Is that the tournament last place is 5,000? Yeah, like last place is thousands. I don't know what the price structure is at the moment. It does change. But yes, it is definitely a very high cash event. You guys just want to main phase Coco after we attack. They left the Vial on 2, so they have a 2-drop in their hands. Their one other card has to be Spellqueller, or Coco into Spellqueller. But I think we just have to get a little lucky. Alright, got at least a little lucky. We're playing, oh, is this, yeah, we're playing Spirits too. That's the new 2-mana removal spell from mid for Death Shadow. I don't like the card that much. At least in Death Shadow decks that could play Terminate instead. I'd basically always just rather play Terminate. Because, you know, Death Shadow decks are not all about losing life as much as like they are about controlling your life total. And you just don't have really good control of your life total with this card where you always have to lose the life. Obviously, it's not an unreasonable option. I just don't think it's the best option. Alright, so we're taking 9. It says Hexproof. They did take up the Vial to 3. But they drew this for turn, and they didn't have Queller last turn, so they shouldn't have Queller now. Can't only counter instants or sorceries. They might Queller this, so I'm gonna bait with it. They're very, very dead though. if this resolves, and it should resolve because they didn't Queller my Coco, which they would have, and then they drew this for turn. Yeah, yeah. I don't know why people keep asking me or keep talking about Meathook Massacre in Modern. Maybe I'm missing something about the card, but I'm of the opinion that Meathook Massacre is not close to Modern playable. And Culling Ritual is so much better than Massacre against, like, it answers so many problematic cards for you. But yeah, I just don't know why people keep asking me about Massacre. That card's not good to Modern. This is lethal, right? If it's not, we're dead anyways, but I'm pretty sure it's exact C's. Yeah, I think people misevaluate X spells really badly, or like they're tinted by the X spell. But like, Meathook Massacre is for 3 or 4 mana not even a good effect, and like you don't like playing it for 2 mana is not that good either. It's maybe it's fine if in some matchups, but it's just not gonna be as good as Culling Ritual. It's not gonna be good as like a lot of other options, I think. Like this kills like Sigardizade, Paladin, Hammer, Rest in Peace, and like Meathook Massacre only kills the creatures, but this gets you like way back from behind against the Hammer deck. This kills Rhino tokens, which Meathook Massacre can only do for 6 mana. If you disagree with me, maybe you can playtest it and prove me wrong, but yeah, I'm just not of the opinion that card is close to Modern playable. I think Kroxa is pretty bad against spirits. You probably cut the Unearths for bringing in all these cards. Cut the 4th Coco. Maybe only play 2 Ritual. Seems pretty good. Maybe cut the 2nd Wrenn on the draw. I think Wrenn's fine. I think Massacre would be good in Aristocrat stack. Well, this is an Aristocrat stack. Yeah. Maybe not in Modern. Maybe in Pioneer. I agree with that. I guess we keep this. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go to MTG Las Vegas. My opponent's mulled to 5 here. Getting rid of Devil in response to Bombardment was probably the play. Well, the thing is like I'm just attacking first, right? So they take too much damage if they take that line, which is why I attacked first, of course. Yeah, it doesn't count as Aristocrats unless you're playing specific cards that aren't playable in Modern. Yeah, I guess so. Remember when I almost trimmed a Wrenn and Six? Yeah, I think Las Vegas is going to be a good time. I've never been before. Esther's going to come with me. Is Delver any good in Pioneer? I don't know. Maybe. Probably not. But I haven't really thought too much about Pioneer. They didn't attack with the Hierarch. So I think I'll probably kill... No, I'll just kill the Hierarch even if they play Rattle Chains. What would you play in place of Monkey? Probably Noble Birds of Paradise. You really need that mana acceleration. Yeah, I'll just kill the Hierarch. Because their Cavern is naming Human. They're like just so choked on mana, and their change just dies to another fetch. I did lose to Delver yesterday, so maybe it is good, huh? Or it might have been the day before yesterday. It all kind of blurs together at the end of the week. No need to play around. No need to play around another Rattle Chains, as they have. I guess they could have had Selfless Spirit, but their Cavern again is naming Human. Could have maybe played Grist first though. Now if I hit a Bloodghast, I don't get it back this turn. Yeah, that was a really weird day. We played against a lot of wild decks that day. Think Grist is underplayed? Yeah, I'd say so. Grist is a really, really good card. It's good. It's not like for a while I was only seeing play Yawgmoth, but the card is just flat out good. It's one of the better cards than from MH2. I'm not sure. It's kind of hard to quantify, I suppose, exactly how underplayed something is, but I would say underplayed. Yeah. Opponent might not be dead exactly this turn, but it's going to be pretty close. 3-0, 6-0 in the league, and 2-0 in the challenge. I'm at least feeling very good about the deck. Maybe we won't top 8 the challenge, but like this deck, I also trophied with this deck earlier this week. I only played like 2 leagues with it. Just been really liking it a lot. They either played really well around what we had, or they top decked the Sanctifier. What we can see with Force of Vigor green card, we're at 2 life, and we have no blockers for Sanctifier that can block Sanctifier. They just kill us. Playing against Luris. We don't have a fetch land to go with Wrenn, but I feel like Wrenn's probably something we should keep. Maybe I'll put back Bombardment with this hand. Yeah, Sanctifier, protection for everything. What's she gonna do? It's nice that if there's softer Ragavan here, we can just unearth it. If only the Grist tokens were only green, that would be such a big help. Alright, they took the Wrenn, which makes sense. Maybe Force of Vigor should say destroy up to 2 artifacts or enchantments and Sanctifier and Vex. Should also just hit Sanctifier and Vex specifically. That'd be a good errata, I think. All in favor? Seems like we have nobody in favor. I got 1. They've got a monkey too. I'll play out the devil, and then they crack a fetch land or a bauble, their monkey dies. What's the card I'm most worried about seeing on the other side with this deck? Grafdigger's Cage, probably. But that card's not very popular. Sanctifier is really good too, of course. That one's like the card you'll actually see that I think you're most afraid of. Opponent's about to learn a lesson today. About to learn a lesson today. Ban Ragavan. Then they maybe still want to make that line, right? And before random Yasharn. Yeah, Yasharn's pretty good against us too. And they're at 5. So they're at 8 and they have a 5/5 shadow. Spiral Grid to refill. Wait, I would like to discard these to Seasoned Pyromancer actually. So I know it's just like let's play Pirate's Bone to Sanctifier anything other than Culling Ritual. I mean, I have 3 Culling Rituals. I feel like that's how many sideboard cards can you possibly have to deal with Sanctifier? You know what I mean? I feel like that's about as 4 Culling Rituals, huh? I think I don't fetch yet. I know. Dealing a damage is not something I'm super interested in against the Shadow. All right, no blocks. They must have a way to deal with Ragavan. Seasoned Pyromancer might kill. Seasoned Pyromancer into land. That might kill them too. Okay. So let's play another Bloodghast. Attack them with Ragavan Bloodghast. Put them to 4. Jump here. Maybe we find something to play. Don't. They escape Kroxa, we get to discard Bloodghast. We can also get back Seasoned Pyromancer tokens with their treasure. So if they escape Kroxa, we're in a spot where lands are good draws and spells are good draws. Good play of playing this first. Alright, so Devil doesn't quite kill them. But with the treasure, we could Alpha Strike and put them to 1. Seems better to just pass. It's pretty good. Yeah, Mayhem Devil's really good. Pirate Spellbombs deal with Sanctifier. I have 3 Culling Ritual in the sideboard to deal with Sanctifier. That is plenty of sideboard cards to deal with Sanctifier. Pirate Spellbomb, like, Culling Ritual is way better too against Hammer Time, which is the Sanctifier Invect deck. And we don't, and yeah, it's... I know we lost to it, chat, but my opponent also, like, you know, they waited until after I cast the Ritual. I think a lot of players won't do that. There's just, there wasn't much we could do there, I think. I'll just let that go. Using this treasure to get back Seasoned Pyromancer might be really relevant. Don't you think you can afford to play a run removal spell by leaving just Pyromancer back? That last turn, if I leave just Pyromancer black, they block the. I can only attack with 2 creatures there. They just block both creatures. Let's get their last card out of their hand. If it's a land, they die. It was Dressed Down. Wow. Also, both their creatures are lethal too, so leaving back 1 blocker is not, or was lethal last turn because I'm at 9. That also doesn't make any sense. Some misunderstanding of the question. Which I might be. So this is usually how I sideboard against them. Might want 1 Culling Ritual. Let's go submit this. Let's go back to try to brew Upheaval. I feel like we've got like a 60 card deck that seems bad, but like as good as it's gonna get, maybe. Alright, we're getting smacked by the monkey. I've seen people chump block Ragavan with Ignoble Hierarch or Ignoble Hierarch. Don't do that. Just take the hit. Just take the hit. Watch them hit, you know, Wrenn and Six. I hit another monkey. Sending people over here to Nico's. Of course, I love Nico. Nico's so good. I watch Nico every morning. Probably gonna Grist here. We could Mayhem Devil. Mayhem Devil's really good. I guess they missed their land drop. And then like getting to play Mayhem Devil plus fetch land next turn's probably a bit better. We need to hope that their next turn is similarly weak. Or we could hit another Grist. I missed. If you know your opponent's Ragavan is on 1-liner, you should block. I mean, how would you ever know that, though? And I'm not even convinced that that's still the case. Like imagine if we blocked here, and my opponent is on the 1-lander, we'd be in much worse shape. Have you played much Yawgmoth combo? Interesting question. Have I played much Yawgmoth combo? Yes, is the answer. Alright, Grist down. Now I get to Mayhem Devil. I'll just play this Bloodstained Mire and hold their creatures hostage. Yeah, I kind of figured they would draw a fetch land here. So I should kill a Channeler, I think. Because they can't if they sack their Delta, I can kill Ragavan. And that's the only way they could get the Mayhem Devil out of the way, is to sack the Delta to bolt it. What are my thoughts on Yawgmoth combo? I think it's a deck that really rewards you for mastering it. If you are a master of Yawgmoth combo, you're going to be winning a lot of matches. Yeah. But it is definitely a very difficult deck to pilot. Yeah, I refuse to play the Eula's Influence deck until they unban Golos, so I'll probably be waiting a while. So I'm going to go Kroxa, sack Kroxa, ping ping, sack Hierarch, ping ping. Discarded Shadow. I guess we'll attack with Mayhem Devil first to get the Exalted, because they just discarded a Shadow. Could be a bit risky if they have another one. I'm obviously really happy if they chump block. Well, I guess chump block's actually good for them, because they actually soak up damage. Never mind. Never mind. Yeah, they probably should have just chumped. Mayhem Devil is so strong. This card's really, really good. The new Teferi work with Isochron Scepter. I mean, we already talked about this, but your 4-mana Planeswalker can't be a combo piece and be good at Modern, you know? Like, you can't need to have Isochron Scepter, a spell underneath Isochron Scepter, 4-mana Teferi, and have your opponent, like, I don't know what they're doing, that they've allowed you to do all of these things. But if that's, like, what you need in order to be... for your 4-mana Planeswalker to be good, you know, why don't you just register Jace the Mind Sculptor instead? Or, you know, maybe a better 4-mana Planeswalker. So many just incidental Mayhem Devil triggers this game. Oh, is my opponent dead? I think we put them to 1. We put them to 6. We sack both. Yeah, we're 1 short of lethal here. So we deal 3 and then 2. If they crack this, they die. Blue-green, or sorry, blue-black, and then realize they just lanterned me, so they can't drown block Mayhem Devil. Yeah, sure. I like to be really honest, because, you know, obviously we do a lot of brewing on this channel. Not all of them are good, but a lot of them are. Like, this is a pretty recent brew we're playing here. And, you know, I really like to keep the... like focus on competitively brewing in Modern, you know, and I recently wrote a big long deep dive about it too for Channel Fireball, which is coming up soon. Yeah, I feel a lot more relaxed right now. Obviously, like, I like competition, I like being tense, I like pushing myself, but, you know, every competitor needs to take these breaks. It's not healthy to just be pushing yourself 100% for, you know, weeks and weeks. What am I putting back here? Mountain? Could put like Blood Crypts. Let's do that. Weekend's going well so far, OMG. Just started, I guess, though. Played Death Shadow this week against Burn. How's Burn ever win that match? By playing well is the main way. I guess I'll play the Hierarch into the probable burn spell. Yeah, so I mean, the burn versus shadow matchup has always been very, very close, and it's always been very, very skill intensive. And like, good burn players will hold their burn spells until after the shadow player like is below 13 life a lot of the time. Obviously, it's like very game dependent, it's very contextual, very skill intensive. But yeah, just holding those burn spells and then overloading counter magic is a super big dynamic of the matchup. That was a challenge. We lost round 3. We're currently 2-1. We lost to Hammer Time. We've beaten Titan Burn, lost to Hammer Time. We're currently 4-0 in this league. Petty Theft. Is Torrential Gearhulk Opus any possible for modern effective? I've played it. I played it when it came out for fun. It's not very competitive, but it is really fun. So, and you could win games with it. You know what I mean? All right, let's Coco into Grist. Let's go, Co. Grist and a creature. Grist and a creature. Maybe win if we draw Bombardment. Whatever I'm to Prowess of Modern, just outclassed by Hammer Time. It's more so that like Ragavan and Dragon Rage's Channeler are better threats than Swiftspear Soulscar Mage. And then Stormwing Entity became like really poorly positioned with Unholy Heat entering the chat. 2 Brazen Borrowers. Alright, we need to find Grist. Oh, whoops. Not that it matters really anyways. Just dead on board to the Borrower Flash in. Oh, not dead. Go to 1. Whatever. I didn't see Mana Symbol playing Otherworldly Phoenix. I have heard a lot of people hyping up Otherworldly Gaze and Phoenix. It is my opinion that Otherworldly Gaze is the kind of card that will look absurdly good a percentage of the time, whereas a very high ceiling, it has a very low floor, and then like the middle ground of it's also like pretty low as well. But like yeah, the floor on Otherworldly Gaze is really low, but it's just the exact kind of card that like looks insane some of the time, and then you think you've broken it. Is my opinion. I do still like Jeskai Phoenix, but there is a lot more graveyard hate in the format than when I was first playing it, so it might have to be the kind of deck you play when there's not a ton of graveyard hate. But when I was first playing it, nobody was ready for it, and I was crushing. I don't think I'm gonna cast Otherworldly Gaze anytime soon. Maybe I am 100% wrong about this card. Maybe it's really good, but I really think that the card is like not playable. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. Otherworldly Gaze. When was the last time I was wrong? I'm wrong all the time. Trying to think about like a Magic card evaluation that I was like really wrong about. There's obviously been some. I think like for the most part for MH2 I was pretty on the point. I feel like right about Saga when everybody else was crying for the ban. Everybody was like, Urza Saga will definitely be banned, and I was like, I don't really think so. Or at least it's way too early to tell. Tibble's Trickery. Yeah, I think I was wrong about the Cascade Valky deck. I didn't realize just how absurd it was. Yeah, I think I was wrong about that one. I remember that. I'm not sure if that was the last time I was wrong, though, because that was a while ago. I'm sure chat remembers when I was wrong. I guess I'll keep Mayhem Devil. And then I'm just going to main phase Endurance. I guess this is bad if they have Thought Scour. I could go to my instep, but if I pass priority in my instep and they pass back, I just can't cast the Endurance. Isn't Trickery banned? Yeah, but I'm saying I was wrong and thinking like how good it would be. I remember thinking that like a lot of people thought it was just a meme, but it was better than a meme. I think that we can only lose one round to make top 8. It's a very long, very hard tournament. And it's gonna be an intense run to top 8. It's 9 rounds, 250 people, something like that. Ooh boy, Ragavan's been pretty good for us this game. Don't really care too much about this Blood Moon. Might ping them. Okay, they just concede. Yeah, Ragavan very good against Moon. Obviously, I think it's a fine get 'em, but maybe I would have preferred for them to have brought it in on the play, not the game that we're on the draw. Alright, this is for all the marbles. Let's go. Mod check? Any mods? Alright, let's keep this. Go back Coco, I think. I like that we can discard Kroxa to Spyro. Fine. I'll do it myself. Awkward on the one lander, on the draw against Murktide. Oh, my opponent mulled to 5. Okay, okay. Maybe I have a chance. Maybe not. Right, big draw step. Let's go! That's awesome. Should I dash? I think I'll just cast. I'm kind of interested in blocking. I'm kind of interested in not sinking. If they have a bolt, it's so bad to dash here. So either our Hierarch living and us resolving Spyro will be really good for us, or if they kill Hierarch, draw red source, maybe. Oh, Double Dash was a great game. Really like Double Dash. Okay, Ragavan's not a very productive hit for them. They have 2 cards in their hand. I was really good at Double Dash in my friend group. I was always the best. Sorry to flex like that, but I was like undefeated for years at Double Dash. But just like, of course, in my like local, very self-contained friend group. Never really like got like tried to get good at it or anything. Should I think I'll discard both here and get punished for it, I guess. When there's no cards in hand, we can escape Kroxa next turn, but we have to do so at the cost of losing a life, which puts us on a 2-turn clock against the Murktide. So that's probably not going to be an option. Maybe they'll attack with I would love to block Seasoned Pyromancer and Ragavan so I can escape Kroxa. Although I guess we're still not winning the race. I was medium on endurance. That's true, yeah. That was like, I think that, I mean, the elementals are really hard to evaluate, but I was lower on endurance than I probably should have been. Higher on subtlety, but not very high on subtlety at the bat. Okay. Okay, well, it is, you know, in some ways nice to not have decisions, right? I liked Fury a lot when it came out. I obviously wasn't as high on it as I should have been, but I mean, the Evoke Elementals are really hard to evaluate. Grist, Grist, Grist. Any Grist in the chat? Alright, no outs. Cast the Spyro for fun. Lose playing for 5-0. Bummer. Yeah, I'd say I was higher than most on Fury. I was like as high as I possibly could be, man. Alright. Bummer. Alright, no trophy for that league. Still like a solid 4-0 for 1. Won every game before the trophy round. Ooh, Hall of Helios Generosity. I wonder if we can combine this with Shark Typhoon. And Grandmaster of Flowers. GG's, Atos. Got 4 matches left in the showcase. I guess we can check in with people.